Hello boys and girls, my name is White Rhino PSO, and today I am playing Noir Syndrome. Now this is a murder mystery puzzle game, sorta like the old board game Clue, except instead of going from room to room in a big mansion and making blind accusations until you've got enough clues to make one of them stick, in this you're going to different locations in a city trying to collect clues so that you can narrow down your list of suspects and eventually go and arrest one of them. It's a fairly quick game, with each time you play only taking roughly 15 minutes depending on what kind of clues you get. And based on the recommendations of a few of my friends, I'm going to try and get right into the game and explain things as I go. But that is going to include the tutorial because I really like the opening flavor text. Another day, another case. Except this time was different. Murders, not just an isolated incident. A whole string of them unraveling this city. The killer goes by the name Anubis. Anubis, the Egyptian god of death. Sacrificial killings, of course. I get stuck with the case, of course. Looks like I should get packing. Another day, another case. Now, this game, I believe, was originally a cell phone game, which you can actually still buy. As you can see by the movement controls here, you can use the mouse to click as if you're using your finger and move around. I prefer to use the keyboard. It's pretty simple. Left and right to move, Z to examine a thing, X to shoot your gun, and C to open your clue book. Now this is going to show you how much cash you have on hand, how many bullets you have, which now I only have the one, how many lockpicks you have, which you use one every time you open a locked door, the number of days left before the investigation is closed, and your hunger. Each time you examine something or talk to a person, you use a little bit of hunger, which the amount of hunger that you lose varies by what difficulty you're on. It also shows just a running tally of the list of suspects you have and the list of clues you have. Every time you play the game, the game will generate a list of 10 suspects, and each of those suspects has some different information attached to them, such as they have a name, obviously, they are either male or female, they fall into one of three groups, either civilians, police, or mobsters, and they have a hobby that they enjoy. And when you find different items, which are clues, a lot of them will say, a lot of them will have two different options. Like, I think dress shoes can be owned by either a mobster or a civilian. So that narrows it down to the point where you don't have to worry about police, but you still don't know which of the two it's going to be. Very rarely you'll find items like a civilian ID, which just flat out tells you that it's a civilian you're looking for. And then anytime you get a suspect, it immediately will tell you what hobby they do, which I believe something like leather gloves could be either for a driver or something else. And then each time you play, there's a different challenge. Of course, this one is to loot 3 vaults, which are extremely difficult. On this screen here, this is your clue book, and then on the little target screen here, it just shows your 10 known suspects, and they'll be color-coded to show you which of the groups they're part of, and have a little symbol to show you male or female. And here's where you click one of them to select them, and then they will show up on your game map. A mysterious killer has recently appeared. Your job as detective is to capture them. Every time you go by a person, well, this is just like a dummy. Every time you go by a person, it's something you can hit Z to investigate. Investigate objects to find crucial clues and other useful items. Depletes your hunger. I now have 1 lockpick because I just found it in that radiator or desk, maybe? Look for dots above locations on the map to find events and track the culprit. I'll explain that once we actually get to the map. Converse with NPCs to get leads on possible suspects. Depletes hunger. The only way to get names in your book, your clue book here, is talking to NPCs. That's how you get your suspects. When it shows a little lock icon, that means the door's locked. You have to use a lockpick to use it. Bullets rarely miss. 1 will drop almost anyone. Weigh the risks of each situation. Anytime you see an NPC in the game, you can shoot them and kill them. The only problem being, generally that means the police will immediately be after you, and depending on who you kill, it also means that, like, maybe the mob will also be wanting to kill you. Vendors sell food and other useful items. Check your hunger level in the notebook. Anybody who has a $sign above their head will be somebody that you can exchange money for whatever they're selling. Of course, I start with $0. Pick a culprit in your notebook and track them down before the murders continue. Alright, here is the map screen. The map is going to be the same every time, and each of the locations is going to be the same every time you play. But the clues you find in each location and where you find those clues in those locations will always be different. You've got 14 days left, and each time you visit a location, it takes 1 day off your total. We don't have any leads whatsoever. That's what it was mentioning earlier. Any of these locations, if it has a little dot above it, it means there's something special about it. Sometimes an NPC will tell you, oh, the speakeasy sounds fishy. That means there'll be a dot saying that somebody thinks that there's more clues here. If somebody has been murdered overnight, which is always a possibility, there'll be a little dot showing you that it's a crime scene, so you will most likely find clues leading to the culprit there. You can also find green, blue, and red dots, which just show that at that location there are a whole lot of civilians or police or mob. Where the hell do I want to go first? Let's go to the hotel. The city hotel. Only the most affluent can afford to stay here. Virginia Brown says, I think a complete search of the old fort would be best. Like I said, that's just somebody who told me now that the fort seems fishy. Irene Walker says, it had to be Norma Lewis, no doubt in my mind. So now, as you can see, I've got Norma Lewis as a suspect. Well, I don't want to do that yet. She's female, and she's a police officer. And she is a tailor in her spare time. The reception desk, even the booking logs are immaculate. Tidy lounge for waiting guests. This guy is selling a mixed drink for $10. I don't have any money right now. Alice Anderson says, James Harris is definitely one to look out for. A piano often occupied by a guest musician. Any doors that have a little arrow above them, you use them to go up. A whole lot of vendors up here. Henry King says, it had to be Walter Brown, no doubt in my mind. Eugene Walker says, rumor has it Edward Wilson has been up to some shady business. Somehow even more grandiose than the one downstairs. So now I've got 4 suspects, 1 mobster, 1 civilian, and 2 police, and one of them is female. Beyond that, I have no clues. So I know some stuff about some people, but nothing else so far as how to narrow them down. Sadly, you do walk a little slowly. Like, it's kind of like a detective strut, I guess. Ooh, an ideal place to marvel at the ornate ballroom. Every time you see a little icon fly off of my guy, that means I've used up some hunger. Like, see, I'm down to 514. I have 3 bullets and no lockpicks. So I cannot... Simple yet elegant hallway. I can't get into that next room. but nearly identical to the hallway below. I don't see anything I can explore at the top level. I think these are all locked. Yeah, I think any door that you see in the game is definitely locked. So now I've talked to everybody and examined everything I can in here. So today's investigation day is done. Nobody died overnight, but there's a public gathering, which is the civilians at the Hunt Club. Sometimes you can find a Hunt Club ID, which you can go to the club and then get jobs to assassinate people. And then the map will also have a little icon showing where that person is, so you can go there and shoot them for money. The mob has a gathering at the drugstore, and the police are over at the old city fort. Oh, in a normal game that you don't start through the tutorial, you start off in your house, which I think usually you can find a few small supplies there and the cat you own. I'm gonna go to the department store. Clothing for all shapes and sizes. Register is reserved for peak hours. Harold Jones added to suspects. Most active register. Pants for children. Jackets for children. Paul Brown tells me that rumor has it the culprit has been seen at the hideout. Heavy jackets. Clarence Allen tells me I always thought Alice Williams was a shady character. Thick pants, small dresses, fancy dresses, and large dresses. Okay, I've finally gotten a clue. Female fingerprints. This tells me that the suspect has to be female. It's something I forgot to mention. Clues in the game, some of them are vague, but they are never going to lie to you. So if you get female fingerprints that say it's a female, that means 100% it is a female. Right now, the only options are Norma Willis and Alice Williams. And I have no clues to tell me otherwise. And no lockpick, so I can't get into the back room. People don't mind if you break into locked rooms in the game, but if there's a vault and you steal money, then they will not like it. So, something is fishy. The old hideout. The killer left cryptic symbols in their apartment here. Somebody tells me that it is worth going here. Usually, there aren't many clues to find here. Sometimes, though. Irene Walker says something fishy has been going on at City Hall. An enormous pile of trash. A rat. If not for the disease, they'd be pretty cute. The main office desk. Not much business has gone on here. And I found a pocket watch. At least the trash appears in a container with a postal receipt. And to think that the killer once slept here. I get $20 out of their bed. Still no lockpicks, though. So, City Hall is said to be fishy, but also, the pocket watch tells me they can be civilian or police, and the postal receipt is the post office. I believe what that means, you go to the post office, and they will give you a package that you can then deliver to somebody in the game and get money for that. Still no idea on anybody's hobby, though, but it's going to be civilian or police, so at the moment, Norma Lewis is our only suspect. Or the only suspect that fits the bill. The culprit, what? Normally the game only says culprit spotted here if you've selected somebody to go after. I think because I immediately canceled that, it left it on the map. Something is fishy at City Hall. Where's the post office? There it is. I'm gonna go to City Hall. Keeps everything running smoothly around here, just because I want more clues. Enough room for quite a crowd. Eugene Walker tells me, who did it? Elizabeth Clark. We all know it by now. Alice Anderson tells me there's something going on at the hotel. I think I've already been there, though. what's upstairs? $6 in a couch. Good place to take a nap. Irene Walker says she's a little busy at the moment. The mayor of the city works from this desk. And Edward Wilson is surprised that the detective is talking to him. Past census records. A lockpick is found on the desk with city issues. Martha King is asking if I have any suspects. And the game tells me now that I'm a little hungry, which lets me know that my hunger level has gone down a bit. Norma Lewis is still my best bet for a suspect. Oh, you can, with this icon down here, you can save and quit at any time, but the game is generally fast enough that you don't really need to do that. Alright. So the hotel seems fishy, but I've already been there. So, there's a public gathering at City Hall, something fishy at the hotel, but I've already been there. I don't know if new clues will show up once you've been to a place, if it's said to be fishy. I'm actually going to go to the post office because I have that receipt thing. $5, full of various letters and notes to be sent through the city. Postal business as usual. Found a business card. Business card tells me it can be civilian or mobster. That means that the culprit, I believe, is 100% a civilian, which means Norma Lewis is off the hook. Chocolate bar for $9. I'll do that. Brings me up to $4.76. I got a package for Carl Johnson. Please deliver to it. They will pay for your time. I'm definitely going to finish my first case. Nobody died. The little gray icon, I believe. Really? So the post office gave me a package to bring to a guy at the post office. Excellent. Please accept this compensation. $26. Great. I'm now down to 8 days. Where have I not been? The mechanic shop, I think, is pretty good. Assorted tools for working on automobiles. A leather wallet on a vehicle up for repair. Chutney the dog. Pauline Davis says, "Who did it? Irene Walker." We all know that. We all know by now. The Hunt Club ID. I could not say what half of these do for the tools. Weathered workbench. So, not a whole lot, but the leather wallet also confirms civilian or... Well, wait a minute. Now it could be... No, it has to be civilian, because if clues don't lie, then the business card is telling me that it can't be a policeman. But Irene Walker. I don't... That's a weird song. I do not have any clues that tell me the job or the pastime. I am going to put Irene Walker on the spot, though, just so I know where she is. Usually, there's a chance that somebody will die every night. Nondescript warehouse. Might as well take a look. Dress shoes. I suppose this is to be expected of a warehouse. The boxes. So the dress shoes say it's a civilian or mobster. No clues about what their hobby is, though. Looks like the stack is about to topple. Detective, I would know ever so much as harm a fly. Martha King says, "I think a complete search of the bank would be best." Assortment of illegal weaponry. Oh, and down here you can buy, like, lockpicks and bullets. Right now, not enough money. $50 for information on the killer. $12 for a lockpick. $18 for 3 bullets. I've got a lockpick. Because the video is running a bit long, and because I have a lot of clues that all say civilian and one that says female. Unless one of these other two people are a female civilian, I think I'm just going to go for Irene while I'm here, because there's only 7 days left. Irene Walker, you are under arrest. Best I've done is 7 days, $48. Hey, Irene Walker was correct. The faster you finish a case, as well as other aspects that I don't really know off the top of my head, the better your score will be. So 1308 is my current best because I cleared out all of my save data before starting this Let's Play. Total 57. Oh yeah, because I did spend some money. $9. Yeah, that makes sense. And the game mentioned badges unlocked. Now, there is a progression system where each of these challenges will give you different bonuses to begin. I'm currently detective level 0. I get starting bonuses, but I'm not entirely sure what that means. I think that might mean like 2 bullets and maybe a lockpick. The ones I unlocked were playing a game and arresting a suspect. You can look around to see what other aspects are in the badges, like beat hard mode without firing a bullet, buy favor for either the police or the mob, collect $250 in a single game. You do get more starting stuff as you play through that. And the difficulty mode, normal, once you go up to higher difficulties, there's a chance that either the police or the mob will be wanting to kill you right from the get-go, which means you have to be very careful about that. But anyway, that was it for the first case, so as always, thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.